Saying had to feel good for you and especially for your players to see over the last couple of games the offense get going.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, and just kind of a tough start for us, and it was it's tough. I've said jokingly, knowing that we're going to Hawaii opening weekend, a lot of people were excited, but as we got closer and closer to Hawaii, you started feeling, man, this logistically was probably a little more than we thought it was going to be. To get a travel party of 55 people and 100 bags and all of that halfway around the world to open up with 23 new faces in your roster and all of that. But we got through that, and then we got back home, didn't play very well in all phases. But, obviously offensively, it's been tough, but the guys have hung in there. I really like the club, and you're exactly right. To have two big games to end the weekend was big for us.
Yesterday especially, where you put 11 on the board in the first inning, I think David Kellum was the first one to say a home run cycle in that first inning, where you have a solo shot, a 2-run shot, a 3-run shot, and a grand slam. I don't know that I've ever seen that before, but really kind of set the tone, and then you just kind of kept pouring it on throughout the course of the game.
We did, and you're right. I don't think I've ever been a part of anything like that. I wasn't sure if we've ever scored 11 runs in an inning, but I was told, no, that tied. I don't know, LSU in 2018 or something. They got all the stats, so I just listened to them. But you're right. The important part wasn't records and how many home runs you hit in an inning. Is that can you continue to play? Can you continue to put zeros up on the scoreboard on the other side of the ball? I was really proud of the way Saunier pitched. With the wind blowing out. Again, you kind of feel, especially there after the first or second inning, we still got to pitch because they could hit it up in the air too. And I thought, proud of the way he pitched and got to pitch some other guys, there that needed to pitch, Liam Doyle, Austin Simmons, and of course, Connor Spencer. So, overall it was a really good day for us, on both sides of the ball.
So let's talk about the pitching on kind of two different levels. Let's start with starting pitching on the weekends. What you've seen so far, do you feel like there's more there with JT Quinn, Gunnar Dennis off to a 2-0 start, and then you mentioned Saunier yesterday?
Yeah, we got to pitch better, at the front end of the game, and the four guys that we started down in Hawaii or over in Hawaii that you mentioned, Quinn, Dennis, Saunier, and Maddox. None of them pitched well. They competed at times and gave us opportunities to win, especially Quinn and Dennis. But we need to be cleaner. You're not always going to be perfect, but we got to be able to put some zeros up. And so, I think there's a lot more in their tank. Obviously, we think they're the best guys. That's why we gave them the opportunity. But once you get the opportunity, you got to continue to deserve the opportunity. We're moving Dennis to Friday this weekend, just because you go with the theory of, you want your guy that's the best, at least the best at that point, the guy that gives you the best opportunity to pitch on Friday. And I think Gunnar's done that, and so we'll pitch him on Friday. JT will go on Saturday and Saunier on Sunday. But yes, I agree with the point that I think there's more in them. They haven't pitched awful, but they haven't pitched great yet either.
And then the bullpen piece, and there are a lot of guys that you could talk about, but I think there are three that really stand out. Mason Nichols has given you some extended relief. That's a role that's been important for you and your teams in the past, to have that guy that can kind of bridge the gap. And then Josh Mallett's, you always wonder with a guy coming back off of an elbow surgery what it's going to look like. He's been really, really good, and Connor Spencer at the back end is a new face, a new name for people.
No, you're exactly right, and those would be the three that I'd pick. And we pitched 19 people to this point, which is the most we've ever pitched through 8 games. And a lot of those guys that are in the bullpen have pitched really well. But Mason won the game in that extra inning game in opening day. In Hawaii was really great. Pitched 4 shutout innings and enabled us to win that baseball game, and then came in and threw an inning of relief on, I believe, last Tuesday or Wednesday against Arkansas State. So he's been really sharp and to be expected. A guy that's a veteran, a guy that's been in the bullpen, and a guy that's pitched twice for Team USA in the trials there. So the expectations are high for him. But you're right, with Mallett, he's really been brilliant. Really happy and proud of him because we knew he was healthy. But it's tough to run out there when you haven't pitched in 18 months. Last time, he threw in a competitive game was in the College World Series, championship series that Saturday, against Oklahoma. And he's been just really lights out. And then Connor Spencer's only been out there twice, but it's been pretty impressive. I think 5 strikeouts out of his 6 outs. So those 3 guys have been good. And there's other pieces that I think will continue to grow. Guys like you saw yesterday, Simmons, Austin, the redshirt quarterback from the football that's, been, I think is just when you look to his future, the ceiling is so high. Liam Doyle's pitched pretty well 2 times out, and others, that I think will continue to add to a very strong bullpen.
So in terms of scheduling, you play 8 games in 10 days with 5,000 miles of travel, give or take, mixed in, and then you get 1 day off, and now you're going to start a stretch of 5 games in 6 days, including Iowa coming in this weekend. It's a pretty good, pretty highly thought of Iowa program. Busy week.
Yeah, and you're right. It just kind of fell that way. And really, the truth, to be very candid, originally we thought we were only going to play 3 in Hawaii, and then somebody said, you travel halfway around the world, you spend so much money to go there, you should play 4 games. And so we decided, and then scheduling-wise, it was just hard to find another date for Arkansas State, and we would have had to play a double midweek somewhere. And we knew that this team was going to be really deep pitching-wise. And so we just said, hey, listen, we're going to have to see a lot of guys anyway. We'll do that. And so we knew what we were getting into, but we thought we had the pitching to handle it. And I think we do. This Tuesday, Wednesday against Little Rock and Missouri State, again, it's going to provide opportunities for a lot of those new guys to get out on the mound, pitch at Swayze, and for us to see them. And lastly, like you said, a very good, Iowa team, a top 25 team, a regional postseason team coming in, big challenge for us this weekend.
And Mike, last thing for you. With Iowa coming in, obviously you got 2 games before that, but will this be the closest thing to SEC arms that your guys see before you get to conference play?
I don't think there's a doubt of that. And, not to take anything away from the 3 other opponents that we play on the weekend, but I think, at least going into it, the only ranked, opponent of the 4 weekend opponents, a Power 5 conference team, a team that's used to going to the postseason, and possibly a first-round pick on Friday night, out of Iowa. So, yeah, a challenge for our offense. So I'm glad we're starting to swing it a little bit better the last couple of days because we're going to need it this weekend.
Coach, always appreciate your time. We'll talk to you next Monday.